Okay, the T-shirt tournament continues with one of the most anticipated first-round matchups, Patrick versus Jeremy. Patrick quickly pulls guard. Now, let's just talk about what both of these guys need to do to win in this situation. For Jeremy on top, he has to look to pass the guard of Patrick, which means unlocking the legs and moving around to either a side control or mount or possibly a back control position. Patrick has to try to tie Jeremy up, which he's done effectively so far, but his next step is to create an off balance and a sweep, or potentially a submission. So there's many things that can happen, but there's a lot of little battles going on as well. And the main battle that you're going to have to fight is the grip battle, especially in the gi. Notice how both guys are making grips. Patrick's going between double sleeve grips. Now he's got a nice deep collar grip. Jeremy has 2 grips on the belt. And whoever dominates the grips is going to dominate the majority of the exchanges. Whoever dominates the majority of the exchanges is going to dominate the match. So the grip battle is very, very important. Ideally, you want dominant grips. And dominant grips are basically, I have a hold of you, but you don't have a hold of me. And I can be able to pull you around, thus creating the off balance and potential sweep or submission opportunity. A lot of times people will grip each other and you kind of have neutral grips. You see Patrick stand up there and he pulls guard again. Now, you probably shouldn't do that unless you have a takedown or a submission attempt in mind, because it gives the person on top a chance to go for a takedown. So if you pull guard and you're on the bottom unless you're coming up for a sweep or a submission attack. And we can see Jeremy, he needs to break the grips sooner. Like the grip battle and a grip exchange just goes on constantly. So you're never ever going to have grips you're never going to have grips on you that you don't have to break, and you're always going to be fighting for your own grips. Jeremy's doing some nice work here, trying to get around to side control, but Patrick's still able to keep a knee inside, and he goes to turtle. Jeremy looks to fall back on a guillotine, but Patrick does a good job of staying safe in that choke, driving in, and he has Jeremy's back to the floor. Now he has control of Jeremy's head. So still no score yet, but now the goals are the same, but the roles have reversed. Now Jeremy's job is to try to tie Patrick up with his legs, create an opportunity to sweep or submit, and now Patrick has to try to get by Jeremy's legs. It looks like Jeremy has a half guard, now he has a half guard. He's locked up Patrick's leg, so Patrick has to try to get rid of this lock around his knee. He can either do that through guard passing, he could look to try to go for a knee slice, he could look to attack possibly a guillotine or a Darce choke. He puts his hand under the tricep there. That signals to me he's probably thinking about a Darce choke. Jeremy has a good underhook. He could potentially come up onto a single leg or another attack to try to force Patrick to his back, because for Jeremy to win here, he has to start to get up and put Patrick down and establish top position. That would give him 2 points. Patrick has to get by these knees. And now Jeremy has locked up a closed guard, so that can be a slight advantage for Jeremy. Remember, you're always looking to try to slightly improve your position. So for Patrick here, he's kind of like in an open guard, but almost closed. He could look to try to force a half guard. That would be slightly one step better. Or stand up and break the guard completely. Jeremy has a nice deep collar grip here. He could go cross choke. He's doing a good job of breaking Patrick's posture, pulling his head down. Now it looks like he's maybe trying for a loop choke, but Patrick has the hand on the elbow, looking to relieve the pressure. Doesn't look like his head is all the way in. Jeremy's fighting for it, though. Looks like he gave up on that, and now he's maybe looking to hit a scissor sweep, but Patrick starts to get height. Here, Patrick has to look to step over a leg and try to force the half guard. And this is often the battle that we'll see with 2 players that are evenly matched. It's often a guard battle. One person is going to be fighting the majority of the match from their back, trying to get something happening, sweeps, submissions, anything really, like looking to expose the back. And the person on top is always trying to get around these legs. Anytime the knees are in front of you, it's not good. See, it just means the person has a good defense. That was a nice off balance by Jeremy. Patrick had to post his hand to the floor. And that's time for the regulation round. We decided to go with the first points overtime, called it right on the spot. And these guys start off standing, so it's going to be first points to win. So if either guy hits a takedown and holds it for 3 seconds, that would win them the match. Guard pulling is still in play because you don't lose any points or gain any points for pulling guard. So look for either a takedown or a guard pull to a sweep attempt. But standing in overtime can be tricky if it's first points, because if you go to pull guard and they shoot a takedown, that could be the end of the match. So, Jeremy's able to get a nice body lock there. And he tries to bring Patrick down, but he's kind of falling off the side. Jeremy's problem here is that he needs his hips directly over Patrick's hips. And that's not the case right now. He's off to the side and too high. So he's got to try to climb up. Jeremy should hold with his right hand, post with his left, and try to get up. Patrick's doing a good job just driving in and just trying to keep Jeremy's back on the mat. Because if Patrick can end up on top in this situation, that would be no points. But if Jeremy ends up on top, he'll have takedown points and he'll win the match. So it's kind of important what happens here. It looks like Jeremy's trying to get up to secure position. Now Patrick postures up. He gets his hips up nice and high. He clears the back take threat and the takedown threat. And now he's looking to try to pass the guard. Once again, his left leg is trapped. Oh, but he lost his balance. And Jeremy ended up on top there. Referee Chris Bright with a great stoppage. He's like Big John McCarthy out there. Very tactical match. Let's look at the TSN turning point where the match was won here. Patrick has a grip on Jeremy's neck, and then Jeremy took an overhook. Patrick looked like to step in to do a little trip, but Jeremy very nicely avoided that and then went right to that body lock. Now he uses his left leg to trip Patrick up and force him down to the mat. And now here, he's got a good wrist grip. He should have looked to post his left hand. He could have possibly climbed for that back take. This is how the sweep happened. Patrick looks to force the guard pass, but you can see his base is too narrow. Patrick has to keep one leg a little bit further back because that allowed Jeremy just to kind of turn his knees, and now Patrick can't recover because his base is too narrow, and that let Jeremy get up on top and secure those sweep points. So, awesome match. Jeremy moves on to the semifinals in the T-shirt tournament.